But also I want to point out that they had this same joke that they had in Repo, where they get into an elevator, the doors close, his voice gets muffled, and then as the elevator drops, it gets quiet.
Imagine being in that gambling dinner, just like hearing a passing elevator, just like
like being on the floor below and just hearing it get loud, like a Doppler effect, get louder and then get quieter.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My
Of the music
So, like, the subtitle for this movie should be, well, if it isn't the consequences of my own fucking actions.
I think it had a subtitle,
Yeah,
too.
it's like, it's the top or something like that, which, let me tell you, it fucking wasn't.
It was, in fact,
The bottom.
Welcome back to the podcast, dear listeners. Oh, goodness gracious. Grace, the second Grace got onto this call, she was like, I feel very vindicated that for once, the movie that was bad wasn't my choice. Which is very, very fair. This
they've
is
all been my choices, except for this one.
They have, except for this one. And I only suggested this because we talked about, like, I wonder if Burt Reynolds has done any other musicals. And he had, and it was this one.
And, oh baby, am I shocked that they let him do another one after this.
Honestly, very, very surprised. Welcome back to 5, 6, 7, 8, a movie musical podcast where we review and recap movie musicals. I'm Anna.
I'm Grace.
And this week, they can't all be winners. We are doing At Long Last Love.
Which is like
the
1975? Yeah.
I had the year written down. I never do. It's a Cole Porter musical.
It's a Cole Porter jukebox musical. So Cole Porter only wrote the songs. He wasn't involved in terms of, like, the
because Cole Porter
plot.
was not alive in 1975. And, you know, thank God he wasn't.
Oh, boy.
He's just rolling in his grave.
Truly.
Like a top.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Wild. Okay.
Starring Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
Mrs. White, or whatever her name is from Clue.
Oh, my God. Madeline Kahn. She's who I talked about
Kahn.
because I love Madeline Kahn. And Cybill Shepherd.
And something that is... And an Italian character actually played by an Italian man.
By an Italian man. Truly. Shocking.
This is a debatable cult classic. And what sets it apart from other movie musicals that we have done is that the musical sequences were all performed live.
Mm-hmm.
Which may have been this film's downfall.
Truly the downfall.
It's not the full downfall. There's definitely a lot of other things wrong, but it didn't help.
No, because the majority of the cast were not professional singers.
No.
All right. Do you want me to tell you my giggle now? Because it's very silly. So my giggle
I do.
is that whenever I was doing the dramaturgy, I was going through the Wikipedia page, and at the bottom of the Wikipedia page, you know how it normally has, like, see also, like, musicals from this, thing. See also, like, movies from 1975. This had, see also, list of films considered the worst. And I burst out laughing. It is the funniest thing.
It is. This film is on a couple lists of, like, worst films of all time.
Of all time, yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. Something that comes up as a fun fact is actually something I'm going to talk about when it comes to reviews, reception, and release, which is how a studio editor went rogue and, like, secretly assembled another edit, and that's what we probably saw.
Oh, no.
Or we didn't see it, but, like, I'm going to talk about how there's, like, lots of different versions of this around, but, like, it's kind of a fun fact and kind of, like, a dramaturgical bit.
Yeah.
Okay. We open on a music box.
Yeah.
There's two dancing couples on top of this music box, and over an extremely long overture, they spin, the man and the woman couples, and then the girls swap through some crazy mechanics of this music box. Honestly impressive. And then they spin with their new partners. Then and we get a lot of Cole Porter songs as instrumentals during this, including You're the Top, I Get a Kick Out of You.
Yeah.
And I made the comment, someone tell Cole Porter that this isn't Anything Goes. Because those are all the songs. But we pan to a grand apartment in New York City. It is all black and white. Now, this film came out in the 70s, but it's set in, 35?
35.
And there's a knock at the door. And two people stumble into this apartment.
Yes.
A man and a drunk
and a
woman.
deeply drunk Madeline Kahn.
Yeah, and she really is the only one that matters. She's a Broadway star named Kitty O'Kelly, and they bicker, and she's drunk, if I haven't said that before, and he deposits her into this apartment and then declines to stay, and he leaves. And
essentially breaks up with her.
Yeah, it essentially breaks up with her. I couldn't tell. Wikipedia told me that.
Yeah.
I had no idea that this was breakup. Also, we've talked about this before, but we both follow along with some kind of plot synopsis for most things. This plot synopsis was actually extremely detailed
good
and extremely accurate.
This
film had to have something going for it.
I only had to add in my thoughts and comments. I didn't have to add in much plot because the plot was all there.
It was all there. Thank God. Do you remember Night and Day?
I don't want to talk about it.
That film was, first of all, over 2 hours, and it was maybe a quarter of the plot synopsis that we got.
Truly.
Also, he was gay. I just think about that all the time. This wasn't accurate for historical reasons. Because of this, and this. Also, he was gay.
I was just thinking about Top Hat as well, just because of the songs in this, and I was just remembering, did they fuck in a gazebo?
In a gazebo? They definitely fucked in that gazebo. They just didn't show it. But anyway,
this is
Madeline
not the movie
Kahn
we're talking
as
about.
Broadway star Kitty O'Kelly.
Yes.
Gets broken up within her penthouse.
Yeah.
And then she starts to sing the song Down in the Depths,
yes.
which is essentially bemoaning how unlucky she is and how, even the janitor's wife has love, but she can't find love.
Yes, she's down in the depths on the 96th floor.
Yeah. And it was all one take.
Mm-hmm. And she
was
has...
it on pitch?
No.
Nope.
And she has... I want to talk... Okay, so I understand... I read some stuff afterwards. Let me focus up. So, everything in this movie, every set, every costume is all black and white. And I was getting angry because I was like, have rich people never heard of color? Why is everything all so black and white? I feel like there has to be something. And then I read something where Peter Bogdanovich, the director, was like, oh, I wanted this to feel like a black and white movie but in color. And I was like, oh, okay, I retract my anger and then just turn that into not my cup of tea kind of deal, because I was getting so frustrated because I was just like, there's not where is the blues, where are the greens? There has to be some color. Why is it that rich houses are always so fucking sterile? Give me a house that's lived in. But this was on purpose, so fair enough.
It was intentional.
And the reason why I brought this up was because she has a clear glass 4-poster bed, and I was bemused.
I know. I saw that and I was like, in 1935?
In 1935? In this economy?
We could have plastic beds in 1935?
Right, because it couldn't have been plastic in 1935. This had to have been glass, which is insane. That is insane.
But she is, listen, that's the hill you want to die on.
Her character is crazy town as well.
Her character would.
Yes, absolutely.
They're all crazy town. But yes.
Anyway.
Bogdanovich did not want to film this in black and white, so instead he made everything black and white.
Yeah.
From this breakup song.
Yes.
This is her Since You've Been Gone. So we cut to a dark, smoky room with 5 men gambling and playing poker.
And we meet Johnny Spanish.
Johnny Spanish, who is an Italian gambler. And what's funny is I commented being like, whoa, that is a rough Italian accent. This man is Italian.
This man, in fact, is very Italian.
And he bursts into song. So he wins his poker game. Everyone gets upset and leaves.
Because he always wins,
to cheer
apparently.
them up, he sings Tomorrow, not from Annie, but it is a Cole Porter song.
Could you
It's
imagine?
Like, when I tomorrow. And this song is essentially like, hey, whenever I'm down in the dumps, I just think of what's coming tomorrow. That's how I get over my sadness.
Tomorrow will be better.
How did you watch this? Did you watch this on YouTube?
We watched the same.
We watched the same thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so then you had the first blip of like suddenly very bad film quality, right?
Yes, but also I want to point out that they had the same joke that they had in Repo, where they get into an elevator, the doors close, his voice gets muffled, and then as the elevator drops, it gets quiet.
Imagine being in that gambling dinner, just like hearing a passing elevator, just like
Like being on the floor below and just hearing it get loud, like a Doppler effect, get louder and then get quieter.
let the record show Grace and I are suckers for a Doppler effect.
So, mostly because of that person screaming past our window that one time. It felt like he was on a motorcycle that was out of control and was just screaming. Anyway.
We love a Wilhelm scream, a Wilhelm scream, we love a Doppler effect, and when they're combined,
oh
boy,
sends me to the moon.
Can't go there, moon's haunted, Grace.
It's haunted.
All right. Anyway, our gambling Italian named Johnny Spanish puts his rich poker friends into cabs and then he walks home. There's a bit where he goes to a newspaper stand, he buys a newspaper, he checks to see what little orphan Annie is doing in the comics.
And this
he gets
is
home.
The beginning of every single person except for our main four just being waiters. And these four menaces to society just truly it's chaos how much they ruin everything.
They attack these poor pedestrians of New York City with musical theater.
Trying to do their job, and they are flummoxed by musical theater.
There's
imposed
so
on them by
in
these
film.
four fucking menaces to society. Anyway, I'm so sorry, but that guy was the first person.
Yeah, and he would not be the last.
No.
We didn't have any gangsters. They were gangsters to each other.
No, yeah. They were all just goons, gooning at each other.
I am my own gangster.
I am my own gangster. Oh no.
I am my own. They were goons.
Yeah.
They're oh god, there's not a single gangster in anybody's birth chart in this film.
Not a single one.
Anyway, our Italian gets back to his surprisingly shabby little apartment.
Yep.
And he sings to himself and he breaks a mirror and goes,
by accident.
And then he goes away.
So basically this guy is running in circles that are higher than his finances might necessarily let him. So he has
he's lucky he won.
He's very lucky that he won. He is a lucky person, it feels like. Or just very, very smart.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Cut to our third main character.
Is Brooke
Miss
Carter.
Carter, a spoiled heiress.
Yes. So the elevator opens up and she is
Different elevator.
She is wearing this cape. I mentioned to Anna how I desperately want capes to come back into fashion, and oh boy, is this an incredible cape. She's wearing this like floor-length white satin evening gown with white elbow gloves, and then this white with like fur
There's not
at the
a bra
bottom.
to be seen in
Not
this
a
film,
single bra in this film.
Not a single brassiere.
And this cape is like maybe just to like thigh height and has like fur all around the bottom with like a hood. God, she looks incredible. Anyway, so she comes in and turns out she's been out all night. It is like 5:30 in the morning.
It's 5:45.
Yeah. And so she gets in and like gets into her suite, and her maid Elizabeth is there, who is the woman. She is also in Clue. She's also in Clue. Miss Peacock.
She is equal parts waiter and goon.
Yes.
She's not. So we have four main characters, and then we have two supporting characters.
Yes.
One of whom we've not met, and one of whom is Elizabeth, Beth, Brooke's maid.
Yes.
Who is a waiter, but she's also a goon. She's not very good at being a waiter.
Yeah.
Like, her profession is waiter.
Yes.
But
But in her heart,
doesn't mean she's good at it.
she is a goon.
In her heart, she's a goon. But Brooke sings the song,
and a little bit of a
which,
gangster, actually. She might have all three. Like
she might be.
She might be our mug of. She might be the second character that is simultaneously all three.
Who was the first? I forget.
Oh, from Cinderella. What's his face? The Jason Alexander's character.
Oh yeah. Oh God, I love that man.
Yeah.
Brooke sings the song "Which," but the song is nonsense and essentially, which is the right life? Going to bed at sunset or going to bed at sunrise? No. And she just is a loosey-goosey, silly, spoiled heiress. She gets in the bath and her maid follows her because she woke her maid up.
Yeah.
And her maid, Elizabeth, delivers a eviction letter that the hotel has left because
she hasn't been paying
Brooke
her
has
bills.
not paid her hotel bill.
Yeah.
Cut to...
Yeah, cut to fucking Burt. Oh, God.
Burt Reynolds.
Burt
the
Reynolds.
reason we watched this film.
Truly. And honestly, he was a delight the whole time.
He might have been the highlight for me.
Yeah. So his name is Michael Oliver Pritchard III, which I just want... So his initials are Mop, which is why I
called him Mop. I called him Mop the whole film.
Mostly because the characters mostly call him Moppy. So I just needed to explain why. So anyway, so he is driving home.
Yeah, they never call him Michael. No, he's riding home.
Sorry.
His chauffeur.
His chauffeur, our ultimate
Rodney.
waiter of this movie, Rodney. He is harassed by musical theater. He's driving him home.
Excuse me. Mop is coming home from another late night on the town. It's 6 in the morning now.
Yeah. And there is one of the funniest lines in the entire movie here.
Is it what I think? Is it what I think it is?
Are you singing to me, sir?
No, I'm singing to myself.
Yeah.
because Mop starts to sing to himself, and in the world where musical theater exists, very understandably, Rodney's like, am I part of this conversation? Or
do I need to respond? Is this a duet?
Monologue?
Or is this...
And Mop's like, no, this is a solo. And Rodney's like, okay.
Cool.
And it was this...
I want more musicals to approach it like this, where they're aware that they're singing, but it's a normal thing. So, if someone starts singing and there's another person in the room, it's like, is this a duet? Or is this a solo? Or do I join in on only the chorus? And they're like, actually, we would love for you to join in just on the chorus, and I continue my song.
Are there oohs I can do? What
do you need backing vocals? What would you like from me?
This was when it became very apparent to me.
Yeah.
I guess, okay. We've done some Cole Porter musicals. Mm-hmm. This is a Cole Porter jukebox.
Yes.
Now, Cole Porter songs were not really meant for musical theater. They are nonsense, pitter-patter, wordplay songs. But they have very specific rhythms. Mm-hmm. And none of those rhythms are respected in this film, but that's another conversation. But these songs... pretty much, I'll make the bold claim that 99% of Cole Porter songs are not meant to be acted during. They're nonsense songs. Have you read the lyrics for You're the Top?
Yeah.
Maybe
crazy.
some of the ballads can be acted through, but the most part, the song that Mop starts to sing, which is Poor Young Millionaire, they don't make sense.
No.
And so it's like square peg round hole.
Yeah, pretty much. So he sings this song, and he ends up you know how old cars had that little side step on them? So he ends up getting out of the car, but hanging on to the side step as Rodney's driving, and Rodney is like, please get back in the car.
Please get back in the car.
But as they round a corner, they end up heading along the block of Kitty's where Kitty lives, and she's drunk and outside her hotel and thinks that it's a cab, and fucking Mop...
After she got stuck in a revolving door. Who amongst us?
But as the car swerves, Mop loses his grip and full falls onto Kitty, bodies Kitty down to the ground, and
Rodney loses control and wrecks the car,
crashes
knocks
into
over
the
hydrant,
and crashes into
Central Park.
Central Park, yeah.
And upon impact of Michael onto her, Kitty realizes, oh, that wasn't a taxi. That's not true. She doesn't realize it until she walks over. But these two idiots deserve each other, but they deserve
a whole idiot.
A whole idiot.
Yeah.
And they are immediately smitten with each other, despite imposing problems on everyone around them.
Yeah.
Like the doorman and Rodney, and it's just, but they hit it off right away. The car is wrecked, so
they
Michael
flirt
so
up
Mop
a storm.
Has Rodney call him a taxi. All right, cut to a racetrack. Cut to a horse racetrack.
Because in rich people movies, there is always a horse race.
A racetrack. There's always a racetrack.
Yes.
Truly. We're like, what, 3 for 3 now?
Yeah.
Anyway, Brooke and Elizabeth have gone to this racetrack to try and earn some money to pay back their hotel bill.
To spend their last $300 to do this.
Yeah, they have $300. They have, thank you. And they get in line to make bets. It's also established that it's pretty unusual for women to make bets, and they might not be allowed, but Brooke is undeterred. She gets in line, and she tries to cut the line by tapping on the shoulder of the gentleman in front of her. And surprise, it's our Italian. It's Johnny Spanish.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you are so beautiful. I would do anything for you except let you cut me in line. Yeah. He bets on a horse named Ladies' Day or something, and she bets on a horse called Cotton Ball. But the bookie, is that the word? The guy that takes the bets?
Yeah.
It's dumb, and I don't really need to get into it, but
so it's mostly because gambling was illegal at this time, and she just pulls out a wad of cash, which is not how it's done. You kind of just like give your marker kind of deal of just like, this is what I'm betting for,
but
and
Brooke's
just like
dumb.
but Brooke is dumb and doesn't know how this works, and so she pulls out a wad of cash, and the bookie is like, whoa, I don't know who you are, and don't talk to me. Yeah. But eventually, but eventually Elizabeth lies and intimidates the guy into allowing her to make the bet. Anyway,
by implying that Brooke is a gangster's girlfriend. It's not a relevant plot point. It never comes back. I thought it would. I thought we were going to meet. What was the gangster's name?
Oh, fuck if I know, because it never came back.
This omnipresent gangster called Loose Lips Larry or something. I don't remember.
I don't know. Anyway, her horse loses.
The race. Yeah.
Doesn't even finish.
The horse, they make no money. They lose all their money. Brooke and Beth have to essentially take the subway back to their hotel, and they walk through Central Park. Yeah. And Elizabeth tells Brooke, you need to be... Okay, and speaking of unnecessary scenes, she tries to give her advice of just you need to be nicer to people, particularly the fact that we're not in good financial standing right now. And Beth pulls out an etiquette book, and there's a song about etiquette, and I couldn't even find the title of this song. They dance in the street. Yeah. Oh, great. They dance in the street. The point is, when they dance in the street, they finish the song. Hey, we've got dancing in the street. This movie has something for it, although if you can call it dancing.
Barely.
But when they have their big finish in the street, surprise, Johnny's there with his car, and he offers to give them a ride, and Beth is like, oh no, you just Brooke and this handsome Italian man who just won a lot of money because his horse won. You get in the car together. I'll walk.
Yeah. And at first Brooke is just like, ugh, but it's a ride, and he's obviously wealthy. Look at this car. Maybe I can make this work. Cut to Kitty and Mop just awkwardly staring at each other. No, I thought that they were having an eye stare, a staring contest, but that was not what was happening.
This really tickled me. I don't know what it is. Cut to Mop's apartment. Rodney delivers more champagne because Kitty and Mop have just been drinking, but they are sitting on a couch next to each other, 6 inches apart from their face, just lost in each other's eyes, drinking champagne, and they won't break eye contact when they accept their new champagne glasses, and they do that,
so
twisting dumb arm thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny. It made no sense.
I made no sense. And it didn't come back. I didn't understand.
Nothing comes back.
No,
everything's a throwaway.
Everything's a one-off.
But
anyway,
then we get more Cole Porter songs.
Yeah, he starts singing "You're the Top," and she sings it back.
Drunk.
They're so drunk. He ends up falling over, and they end up making out on the floor, and Rodney closes the door behind them.
Yeah.
This song makes sense if you're drunk. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, where you're just I'm just continuing
you're
the bit.
Camembert.
Yeah.
But when Rodney, like, goes back into the living room and, like, sees them on the couch and just, like, has that moment of, like, oh.
Couch,
and,
floor.
Like, slowly backs out. Oh, sorry. They were on a couch at one point.
Yes. Anyway, cut back to Brooke and Johnny. They are, like, they end up in a picnic in the park. They get a reprise of You're the Top. We get a little bit of backstory. So Brooke, her dad died during the crash, but he didn't know that her mom had money hidden away, like had $1 million saved somewhere. But now her mom has run off to South America and has stopped sending her money, like, or hasn't sent her money in, like
she used to send Brooke money every once, like, pretty periodically, but they haven't heard from her in 3 months.
Yeah.
And that's why she's been unable to pay her hotel bill.
Yeah.
And Johnny offers to settle her hotel bill, which Brooke gladly accepts.
Absolutely.
And they finish You're the Top.
Yes.
Cut
and drive
to,
away.
Yeah. Cut to opening night of Kitty's latest play. On Broadway, on the Broadway. Mop and Rodney go to see the show, and they end up sitting next to Johnny and Brooke, who they've not met yet.
No.
And there's, like, this dumb bit of, like, shuffling around chairs so that Brooke can see. But the show begins.
What is this show?
The song, I've never heard this Cole Porter song.
Opening number of whatever musical this show is.
It felt, you know what it made me think of? What was that Eskimo number from?
Oh my god, yes! You're goddamn right. That is exactly what this is.
The song is called Find Me a Primitive
From Night and Day.
Man.
That was a Cole Porter one as well.
That was from, oh god, that makes sense.
Damn it.
Was that song Find Me a Primitive Man?
Was it? I don't
look
think
up what
so.
that song was? Kitty sings a song, and she's in a pretty blue evening gown. She's surrounded by about a dozen background dancers dressed as cavemen, let the record show. And I didn't have cavemen backup dancers on my bingo card, but you know what?
Here we fucking are.
But I will say, whatever this is meant to be happening within a play, couldn't tell you.
No clue.
This is how I think most Cole Porter songs are best suited, where it is just, like, essentially a cabaret performance with, like, a little bit of acting, but, like, the plot does not depend on it. And then there's suddenly suddenly Grace, the end of
it was
song.
my Heart Belongs to Daddy.
Yeah, yes. Oh, because it was Mary Martin?
Yeah, it was Mary Martin
Yeah,
as
Mary
herself. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. God, what a pointless film. Grace, do you want to tell our listeners how this song ends?
Tarzan appears and swoops her away!
Like, what year was Tarzan on Broadway? Because this...
Tarzan,
it's just the same
musical.
thing where he swings in on a vine and grabs Kitty round the waist.
2006. Oh boy.
I felt like I was watching Tarzan the musical.
What a wild and lawless
But, like,
time.
it's never addressed again.
Nope.
I don't even remember the name of this play within a play.
I don't know
either. It doesn't matter.
Because it doesn't matter, because it never
The
comes
point
back. You know
is-
why? Because nothing ever does.
Nothing comes back. There are no boomerangs in this film. What this scene is relevant for is because there's, like, a recurring gag where Brooke has really bad eyesight, so she puts on her glasses and she recognizes Kitty.
Yeah.
They went to school together for a year.
For the 1 year that Brooke went to public school. So she recognizes her, and afterwards, at this point, obviously, Brooke and Mop and Johnny have all, like, explained, like, how they both have Kitty in common, and so they all go backstage, and Kitty comes out, and they recognize each other and have, like, a big reunion, like, big summer camp energy of, like, seeing someone from...
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And the girls just completely abandon the guys, and it's a delight.
Yeah. They go to a club, and the girls only talk to each other, and the boys keep making sassy comments.
Yeah.
They all get up to dance. There's, like, a dumb bit about untying ties.
That's not important. But they all end up going to dance, but the girls abandon the guys to dance with each other, and they end up singing the song Friendship, and the guys join in.
They picked up Elizabeth and Rodney because they're there.
No, that's later.
Oh, that's later. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So at the club, it's just the four of them.
It's just the four of them,
and this song, Friendship, is very cute. But, like, they
You'll
take
know
over
it
the
from
whole
anything
dance.
goes.
Yeah, they take over the whole dance floor.
They just inconvenience everyone else who
everyone
went to this
else.
club with
Because
the
you know
concept of
why?
musical
They
theater.
are menaces to society.
They are menaces to society. They are unbelievable.
But Mop invites all of them to his country house for the weekend.
It's at this point that
they go to pick up Elizabeth and Rodney.
Yes. Rodney drives. Elizabeth immediately looks at Rodney being like, you are...
Hello!
Yeah. You are the finest slice of bread I ever saw. They stop at Johnny's place so he can get his bag, and Brooke gets an attitude because she sees he doesn't live in a high-rise, like, luxury doorman building. He lives in, like a kind of like a shitty
brownstone
neighborhood, shitty building.
Yeah. Well, she was like, "Oh, this is why you've never taken me to your place." And
ma'am, you met today.
Yeah,
I actually don't know when they met.
I don't know what time is in this movie. But so she's sulking, and sulks. Then Kitty and Michael kind of start the song again, and we get a reprise of Friendship just to try and get everyone back in a good mood. And so she joins back in, and it's everything fine. And then at the end of this song, so they're driving in the car into the country, which I can only assume to the Hamptons.
Are in the background. I assume the Hamptons or like Greenwich.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth is in the passenger seat with Rodney driving.
And does she grab his dick at the end of this song? And then he swerves off the road?
I missed that. There were a lot of dick jokes in this scene. Surprisingly, a lot of dick jokes in this film. I was more upset that she just gave him alcohol while he was driving.
That too, yeah. I'm gonna say, Elizabeth, not a great person.
No.
Especially considering
potentially
later.
The least redeemable of all.
But I was pretty sure that, at the end of this song, she just, grabs down and, what looks like in between his legs, he jolts, and then we see a shot of the car swerving off the road and back onto the road. And I'm like, what? Anyway.
The car never got back on the road because cut to the next
day.
Exterior of Michael's country house. That Rolls Royce fully crashed on the front steps through a topiary.
Oh, yeah.
But there's Rodney comes out to get the milk and the paper, and he is so clearly aggressively hungover.
So hungover. And it's so funny. He comes back in with the paper, and there's this whole bit about Johnny being obsessed with the comics of Little Orphan Annie. And so Johnny has apparently the constitution of a fucking ox because he is fine. And so he's up and excited and all of this, and Rodney's just oh god, he's just so loud. They have a whole thing, but Rodney eventually goes into the kitchen to sort of fix the breakfast or coffee for Mop, Michael. And Elizabeth is there as well, fixing it for Brooke. And Elizabeth
is also extremely hungover.
Yes. And they have a song called But in the Morning No, where Elizabeth is flirting with Rodney and Rodney's not into it.
Yeah. And they are singing so loud.
So loud. But yeah, I know. Well, it's because they start quiet and then Rodney gets loud and then he hurts his own head and Elizabeth also hurts her. It's just
But they deliver breakfast and it is revealed that Kitty has actually gone out on a walk already.
Yes.
But Michael is in poor condition and so is Brooke.
Yes.
Johnny comes into Brooke's room.
Or knocks outside her door. Yeah.
Knocks outside her door to apologize. And he's like, I apologize for lying to you, or rather just not telling you the full truth.
Yeah.
I know I'm very, very close to making my fortune.
Yes.
And you shouldn't judge me just because I'm not as wealthy as you. But she doesn't accept his apology, or she doesn't forgive him right away. So he goes for a walk on the grounds. Yeah. And he starts to sing this song called At Long Last Love. Title, Ding 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 Ding.
Ding Ding.
Which is essentially
after all this time.
Be love?
Yeah, am I in love for the first time?
Yeah. And he finds Kitty. Because Kitty was out for a walk as well, and they kind of flirt.
But it's really minor. It's not it's so funny because the description said that they flirt, and I'm that didn't feel like flirting to me.
It felt like flirting, but I think that's just how they talk.
Yeah.
So I say flirting because that's their MO. That's how both these people talk.
Interact with others.
But whether the characters themselves were actually flirting,
like with the
debatable.
intention of flirting. I didn't get that.
Yes. But
so
we then follow Kitty, and she finishes the song, wondering, could this be, at long last, love?
And then I kept calling him Burt sometimes in my description.
I feel that.
Yeah. So then Michael Mop like pokes his head out. His entire face is covered in shaving cream, and he's like, "I heard you say something." And she's like, "Oh, I was just thinking about someone. Anyone I know?" No. So then we follow him back in, and he's shaving and bad at it apparently. And he also sings his verse of At Long Last Love, but then accidentally like squirts shaving alcohol into his eye, and somehow his room is connected to Brooke's bedroom and like bursts into her room.
No, she's not. I don't know if it's that. I thought he was just like, he went out into the hallway and then goes into her room.
Okay,
It doesn't matter.
Somehow
he
ends up in
Brooke's
her room.
And they scare
cucumbers all over her face. Not over her eyes, just her whole face covered in cut cucumbers.
Slivers.
Yeah. And they have a cute little bit back and forth where, and they just have like a little bit of witty banter, and then he ends up leaving, and then she has her song, her verse of At Long Last Love.
Cut to our quartet playing football out on the lawn, and they are interrupted by the
mom,
Mabel,
I love
who comes
Mabel.
in and just like yoinks the football, and they all have a spontaneous picnic on the grass.
Yes. Well, because they call her like Mrs. Pritchard or whatever, and she's like, "Call me Mabel. I do not like to be reminded of my husband." And I'm like, "My."
She's great. I'm trying to remember. There was a funny line here where I think, Mop is talking about Rodney, and he goes, the comment is like, because Mabel doesn't like her son's mustache.
Yes.
And she says, he grew it to, like, imitate Rodney.
Yeah.
And Michael says, well, he's my idol.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth turns to Rodney and goes, he's mine too. And Rodney goes, oh, go away. Anyway, Mabel invites the quartet to come with her to the club tonight to help her pick out someone, because they all have each other and she's the only single one. And Mop's like, oh god, no, not the club.
Not the Racquet Club.
It's the Racquet Club.
Yeah.
And it is
so boring.
It is a sea of silver and purple hair.
Oh yeah.
And they are the only young people there. And the people are waltzing, but it's so boring. And so they decide to be menaces to society.
And just because the joke is, like, no matter what you say to a person, their response, because they're all so boring, is, well, did you ever? Oh, yes, what a wonderful party this is, or something like that.
Very country club, etc.
Clutch your pearls. And so they just, their version of a joke is to just make up wilder and wilder rumors to tell people around, like, just whisper to people, and then every single person responds, well, did you ever? What a marvelous party this is.
What party this is. I honestly thought this was a fun scene.
It was very silly, and it's so funny because they go over to Mabel, to the guy that she's dancing with, Captain whatever his face is, and Mabel has a personality. Like, she's not one of, like, these very, very boring people, but they say something, I don't remember what the rumor is, to the guy that she's dancing with, and he responds with the exact same thing, and Mabel's like, fuck, I need a drink. But as this song sort of gets close to the end, Brooke and Michael have, like, said a crazy rumor to someone and then sneak out to the backyard, and Kitty and Johnny, who have gone off to spread other rumors, see them, and they're like, oh, let's go and join them outside. And they go out and they see Brooke and Michael dancing quite close to each other alone in the garden under a tree. And that takes them both aback a little bit, and they turn around and leave.
Yeah. Cut to a close-up of Mop and Brooke, and similar to how Mop and Kitty were staring into each other's eyes, Mop and Brooke are now staring into each other's eyes, and and they're, like, very close, or maybe 6 inches apart, and, like, the vibes are vibing.
Yes.
She asks if his mustache is itchy, and they just get closer and closer, and we get a "kiss me, you fool" line.
But I love his response. It's like, oh, okay.
Right.
Just big himbo
They get interrupted
energy.
by Mabel,
Yes.
who tells them that Kitty and Johnny left.
Yeah, absolutely.
They went
that
back
Kitty
to the
has
city
a matinee.
with the excuse of, like, Kitty has a matinee, Johnny has a gambling
poker
game.
game.
Staten Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Staten Island.
I love Mabel. She was like, I'm going as well. The captain is
Has invited me to see his lighthouse.
to show his lighthouse. I'll be home in a couple days.
It reminded me of the woman on the subway who's like, I'll be home in about a week.
in about
And
a
I was
week.
like, where are you going, ma'am?
But in the taxi back to the city,
Yes.
Kitty and Johnny come up with a great plan.
Oh boy. Again, well, if it isn't the consequences of your own actions. So,
Because this always works. They come up with a plan they'll pretend to be a couple
Yeah.
to make Brooke and Michael jealous.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, like, they are vibing as well.
they're also
And
vibing.
Kitty, I
And I'm
think,
like,
is the
these
one-
four should just be they just need to be
Poly,
swingers.
like-
They just these four just need to, because there was also whenever they were having that picnic on the lawn before, like Mop was like lying on the ground and like leaning into Johnny, and Johnny had his
Yeah.
legs around Mop, and I'm like, these four just need to be together. Like, why are we pretending? Anyway. So they decide to have this whole scheme, and Kitty is like, well, maybe we should start rehearsing now, and so
We should
they
just
make
rehearse.
out in the back of the car.
That gives me such acting school, like, pretense of rehearsing when you're really just making out with your scene partner in your dorm room. I'm not
Yep.
speaking from experience.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But they agree to do this plan.
Yes.
And then they get back to the city, and Johnny goes up to Kitty's
Yeah.
apartment.
Absolutely.
And we get the song From Alpha to Omega. Could I tell you what that song was about? Absolutely
Not at all. No. And then we get Brooke and Michael. So they return to his country house, and she very much is just like, I am here for it. Let's go. She sings the song Let's Misbehave. He keeps turning on lights. She keeps turning them off.
It's like the clapper, like there's a serial killer in your house and all of your lights are controlled with clapping, and so you're just like I would have loved this scene if it had had a clapper instead.
So they have this whole bit, and then it turns into the song It's DeLovely, and they end up outside dancing. They fall over a bush because they're both still drunk, and then he ends up being like, let's get in the pool. Oh boy, they changed into these swimming outfits with some very horribly placed
old-fashioned.
like swimming caps because their hair is still visible. And
I love me some old-timey swim costumes.
I will say, this moment of them in the pool was probably my moment of joy because they kept breaking and laughing, and it felt so genuine. Like, there's a moment where he has, like, the little nose plugs that are, like, have an elastic around the back of his head, and so they're in the pool, and Brooke grabs it and snaps it back, but it hits him in the tooth, and
you can tell he's, like, checking to see if he's
actually
lost a
checking to see if it's, like, chipped, and she is desperately trying to get through this song, but she keeps laughing and he keeps laughing, and they're both so like charming in this moment. It was like the true, like, it was my only true moment of joy was like this moment in the pool, because you could tell that they were having a blast.
Yeah. That being, like, here's the thing. This is a bad film.
Yes.
Because the script is bad and the concept is bad.
Yes.
And there's debatable singing.
Yes.
You can tell the actors are having a blast.
They're so silly.
For the most part.
Yeah.
But this scene finishes with Rodney watching, kind of creepily actually,
well,
Michael
I think they're yelling
Brooke
and splashing in the pool, so he looks out the window like, what the fuck?
and
These
then-
two drunk idiots are in the pool. What if they drown?
And then, with big Grandma Mods me Anastasia energy, Elizabeth slinks into Rodney's room. Again, like, arm on one, like, arms at 90 degrees, like, in her negligee, and just, like, comes onto him so hard. And
I didn't like this.
But in the morning, no.
Yeah, because he wasn't into it,
Yeah.
and she forced the situation, and I didn't like it.
Yeah. And they tried to make it better with him being like, oh, at the end, but it
No,
wasn't enough for me.
Because that wasn't a yes. Yep.
That was such a long sequence.
Yeah. Yeah.
I needed a breath after that. Then cut to a couple really quick scenes of Brooke and Mop going to a baseball game, and then a boxing match, and then the movies, and Johnny and Kitty are also there, but they're ignoring them because they're mad at them. But Johnny and Kitty are just making out in front of Brooke and Mop, as is their plan. Yeah. And Brooke does not mind. She's like, oh yeah, good for her. But it's
I'm
irritating.
so glad that they're good together because I stole her boyfriend, so I'm glad that she's with Johnny, they're great together kind of deal. Yeah. But Mop is real jealous.
Mop is getting jealous to the point where
at the movie theater, Johnny gets up to use the bathroom. Mop follows him out. They go into the bathroom together. We hear the sounds of a fist fight. Yeah. An usher tries to go break it up, but then they emerge laughing, and they're just this poor usher's just so confused as to what happened. Exactly. But the boys make up. Walking home, Johnny tells Kitty, okay, our play pretend relationship was a big success. We can close this play tonight. He says this as the Staten Island ferry is pulling away and she's on the dock waving. It's so fucking dramatic. It's so funny.
I thought that was an homage to something.
It felt like Casablanca, but I don't think that that's accurate.
I think that's what it was definitely heavily imitating, though.
But then Michael also breaks up with Brooke and sings the song It's Just One of Those Things, which we also see Johnny and Kitty singing, and Brooke does not take it well. No. Michael is oh, actually, Johnny's just fully in love with you, so, he's gonna break up with Kitty, and, this is just one of those things, our time is done, and Brooke, pissed, and then has one of those moments, which gets me in every movie, where they open a taxi, get in, and say, take me home. And it's ma'am, who the fuck are you?
Michael breaks up with Brooke, Johnny breaks up with Kitty, and they all kind of, everyone but Brooke pretends they're okay with this. Yeah. But we next see Elizabeth and Rodney. Rodney is driving Elizabeth back to the hotel, and Elizabeth is pissed that Michael broke up with Brooke.
Because Brooke is not taking it well. He drives her back.
No. Cut to the hotel where Brooke is not taking it well. She is despondent on the couch.
Reading a book saying how to be happy alone, which I did find hysterically funny.
Yeah. Then the phone rings, and it's Johnny?
So the phone rings, Elizabeth is there, she answers, and it is Johnny, who apparently has been consistently calling, and we don't hear it, but Brooke says that she's not there, and so Elizabeth does the funny thing of, she says she's not here, just, telling Johnny essentially that, she's here, she doesn't want to talk to you still. Turns out,
won't talk to you,
Johnny says that he has won $500,000 in a card game, which is, in today money, about, $10 to $11 million in a card game.
Thank you for doing the today math, because I wonder.
Yes, I have, because I did the today math. I did the today math for the sum of money later on, and it was
Gotcha.
But
she doesn't care. And he's like, "Do you want to help me spend it?" And she's like,
"No." So apparently, one of the other things that we see in the newspaper that Elizabeth is reading in the car with Rodney is that Mop has bought a horse for Kitty. And the horse is called Kathy O. I don't know. I guess because her real name is Kathy.
Yeah, exactly. And Kitty, oh my god. And Kitty's not super pleased with that either. But in the hotel room, Brooke reads that newspaper article and she sings I Get a Kick Out of You, essentially to Mom, mourning this
relationship,
kind of fake relationship.
I don't think it was fake,
it was
for
real.
Brooke.
It wasn't fake for them. It was only fake for Kitty and Johnny. Yeah. But they get a telegram, they being Elizabeth and Brooke get a telegram to the hotel, and surprise, surprise, it's Brooke's mother from South America being like, dearest, here, I put $1 million in your account.
Which is $22 million today. Can you imagine? And then she says the thing that made me the most angry. Like, Elizabeth is like, you need to get up, you need to get dressed, we're gonna go to the club, it's gonna be fine, your mother just gave you $1 million. And then she says, what's $1 million without love?
Without love? Get
fucked!
I'll tell you what it's like. It's a week that's only Mondays. Without love! Like a week that's only Mondays.
Oh my god.
Only ice cream, never Sundays.
Like a circle with no center. Not a circle. Anyway.
Like $1 million.
Like $1 million.
What's $1 million? I wrote that line down because I also just like I couldn't.
I got viscerally angry. I was just like, this fucking spoiled entitled bitch.
But anyway, Elizabeth manages to get Brooke out of the house.
They go shopping.
Go to Lord and Taylor. They go to Lord and Taylor to buy outfits for tonight, and then they go into the ladies' powder room and surprise.
Who is there?
Kitty is there. Sorry, did you just see my brain short circuit?
Yeah. I was like, hold on, let me ask a leading question.
You could have just been like, and someone whose name starts with a K is there. Because it wasn't that I didn't know the name, it's that I couldn't remember which was which. Yeah. Brooke and Elizabeth go into the powder room and gasp. Kitty is there.
Yes.
And they, at first I thought it was going to be a fist fight. I thought it was going to be like a Harvey
because they have like an OK Corral, like, doo-doo-doo. And they like walk slowly towards each other. And
a banjo plays out of nowhere. It's like ding, ding.
I know it's from The Road to El Dorado, where he's just in the background like
but they burst into tears and forgive
and hug each other. Yeah.
Brookie, Kitty. They cry on and at each other.
Yes, and then there's a song that Elizabeth starts called Most Gentlemen Don't Like Love, about how men are not into relationships, whatever. And one of the funnier things happened where another acknowledgement of the fact that they are performing a song where some women open the door and hear them singing, and then Elizabeth is like, come on in, it's a free performance.
Because it's advice. She's giving advice.
She's giving advice.
At the end of the song, Kitty and Brooke embrace. All the women who have come in to watch the performance also embraces a big group hug. And Elizabeth sneaks away to the phone in the corner, calls Rodney, and is like, I have a plan.
Yes. So Kitty and Brooke go for a walk in Central Park, and they end up having this very silly conversation back and forth where they talk about each other's partners, essentially. Both of them sort of inadvertently revealing that they have slept with the other guy.
Yes.
So everyone has slept with everyone at this point.
Yeah.
And, but they have the song, I Loved Him, But He Didn't Love Me. Basically bemoaning, like, oh, when I like him, he doesn't like me, but when he likes me, I don't like him, kind of deal.
I don't like him. Yeah, exactly.
Cut to the club.
Cut to the
club.
The club that night. Rodney, Michael, and Johnny arrive at the club, and they see that the girls, Elizabeth, Kitty, and Brooke, are all there. They're all dancing with different partners. Rodney immediately goes up to Elizabeth and interrupts her dance, and she's like, what took you so long? And because they are conspirators in this plot. Yeah. Johnny interrupts Brooke's dance, and Michael interrupts Kitty's... Wait, no. What?
Michael interrupts Kitty's dance.
Michael interrupts Kitty's dance.
And Johnny interrupts Brooke's dance. So the original couples.
Yes. The original couples get on the dance floor and they dance to the song A Picture of Me Without You, which is a reconciliation song.
Yes. So basically the guys are saying, like, without love, lols.
Without love.
The guys are saying, like, oh, like, all of these things that are normally together, if you imagine them apart, that's what it's like me without you. And the girls...
Like a week, that's only
Mondays.
Only ice cream, never Sundays. This is hairspray. Like a circle with no center. Like a door marked.
Do not enter. God damn it. Cool. they eventually kind of reconcile. The girls tease them a little bit, but then the band leader at the end is like, change partners. So now Kitty is dancing with Johnny and Brooke is dancing with Michael. Again, they just need to be a swingers couple that they all fuck each other. But during this dance, Michael is fully enraptured by Kitty and is like, oh, she's never been more beautiful. And Johnny is fully enraptured by Brooke and is like, oh, she's never been more lovely, even though they're dancing with opposite partners. And then that's the end.
Yeah, I didn't like the ending.
I texted Anna.
I wanted them to stay.
That's the ending? This
I know, and I wasn't there yet. It's just what dreams are made of. And we return to the music box from the beginning.
Yeah.
With they spin around. I'm gonna be honest, Grace. I didn't understand the ending until just now. I thought they stayed with the second partners. They didn't end up with the original partners.
Honestly, Anna, it's unclear. So you are not at fault for not understanding.
Okay.
Because it's confusing
but
as
I understand
hell.
I understand your indignation, because if it is the first, if they end up with the first partners, that's a bad ending.
There is no good ending. You know why? Because this is a bad plot.
This is a bad film.
Yeah.
All right, well, you know what? We did the
it.
plot in under an hour with things to cut, so I'm going to call that a win.
Yeah.
I almost don't even need to say this. We'll do a little dramaturgy, but Grace, what did you think of this movie?
Why is it that Cole Porter musicals are always, like, musical movies are always bad?
Because I got on my soapbox earlier. The songs
make no
were
sense.
not meant to be put into a plot.
Night and day, this movie, like...
Also, he was gay!
I feel like we should, like, I'm excited. So we're doing a bracket at the end of this year of our favorite, we'll do a special episode of all of the movies that we have done and reviewed. And I've already set the list, and there's some that I'm very upset are paired together because I don't want either of them to move forward to the second round, and it's just infuriating.
What is the lesser of the two?
I know, truly a race to the bottom. Like, and so...
Did you like this less than Night and Day? Because I think Night and Day is still the bottom of the barrel.
Night and Day was still worse than this, but mostly because Cybill Shepherd and Burt Reynolds are both inherently charming people. And so their interaction, like the chemistry between the couples was good. And that is the redeeming feature, is that the chemistry between all four of them, they were all very funny people. They were all, it looked like they were having a good time, at least at some points of it. They were all very silly. None of them were taking this too seriously.
Just when they weren't singing and dancing,
the problem is that of most, like... Cybill Shepherd and Burt Reynolds are not trained singers. Madeline Kahn and, God, what's the Italian guy's name? DeLillo?
Honestly,
they
I
are
don't think
singers,
I've ever said this before, but I think this film would be better if it wasn't a musical.
Agreed.
I don't know if I've said that about
I also feel
yet.
like the plot, it's so interesting, because they did want to make the plot like a sort of a 1930s, like, homage, essentially. And I think as a culture, that wasn't what we were into in like
in the
fads
70s.
For plots do change, and I think that this, if this was a 30s movie, might have been more successful than the fact that we released it in the 70s and the plot doesn't match what is interesting to the culture at the time, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Makes total sense.
Yeah. So
like a fish out of water.
Yeah. So it was like he wanted to make an homage to 30s musicals, but he hired people who couldn't sing or dance, and he wrote a plot that's good for 30s musicals, but that doesn't mean that it's good for today. Kind of deal.
Yeah, like I have my own issues with La La Land.
Yeah.
But in a less successful way, where La La Land was an homage to the Golden Age musical set in contemporary time and adapted to fit contemporary audiences.
Sad but hopeful.
Whereas this was a 30s styled musical for people who appreciate 30s style musicals, released in the 70s.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to talk about it a little bit, but like, Bogdanovich wrote and directed this movie. Like,
Yeah.
clearly he has a background and appreciation for 30s musicals, and he did not seem to consider whether contemporary audiences
Would have
at
the same
time
appreciation.
would.
Yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
that's a good
Speaking of,
transition
shall we?
into...
Yeah. Some dramaturgy report. Dramaturgy report.
Ba-na-na-na-na-now.
All right. This was directed by Peter Bogdanovich, who was an American director, writer, producer, critic, and film historian who actually just passed away in January of last year, January
Wow.
2022. He started his career as a film critic before becoming a filmmaker as part of the new Hollywood movement. He would work with our cinematographer quite a few times. They were frequent collaborators. Over his career, he won BAFTAs and Grammy Awards and nominations for Academy Awards and Golden Globe Awards.
Mhm.
His career breakthrough was with the drama, the 1971 drama The Last Picture Show, which won him his first Academy Award nominations. Actually, his only Academy Award nominations for Best Director and Best Adapted Screenplay.
Yep.
As an actor, he was known for his roles in The Sopranos and in Orson Welles' last film, The Other Side of the Wind.
Ooh, interesting.
He had a good career.
Yes, he's
He
quite a famous
worked-
director.
Yeah, he's quite a famous director. And it's funny that he had such swings and misses across the front, like wild swings and misses, whereas like right out the gate, 1971, Last Picture Show, one of his first films, Academy Award nominations, and then 4 years later, this. But you know what? I can respect bold swings.
Yeah.
I can respect bold swings.
Swing and a miss, but he made a big swing.
Yeah. Our cinematographer he was a Hungarian-American cinematographer, and I'm not sure I'm going to pronounce his name correctly, but Laszlo Kovacs, Hungarian-American cinematographer, influential in the American New Wave film of the 70s. As I said, so was Bogdanovich. He worked with Bogdanovich frequently, as well as Richard Rush, Dennis Hopper, Norman Jewison, and Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
Standouts of his career were the 1969 film Easy Rider and the 1970 film 5 Easy Pieces. He was recipient of numerous awards. He got 3 Lifetime Achievement Awards.
Fuck, yeah.
And we've seen his work not in this podcast, but in pop culture, in Martin Scorsese's New York,
Yep.
Ghostbusters, and my personal favorite, the 2000, Miss Congeniality.
Hell yeah!
And that's what I got for our director and cinematographer.
Amazing. Well, our director was also our writer, so I'm not going to go too much more into that. But I will talk about how this got made. So... This was his first musical film, as well as the first movie that he wrote entirely solo by himself. So he got this idea because he was dating Cybill Shepherd at the time, and she had done an album which is called Cybill Shepherd Does Cole Porter Songs or something like to that effect. And so she gave him a book of songs, and he was like obsessed with his lyrics. Sad but subtle. Cole Porter lyrics are less sentimental than Gershwin and more abrasive, things like he thought that, like, specifically the song I Loved Him, he thought that was incredible, and so he ended up using these songs like as an effort to weave a plot together around these songs that he really loved. And now the film was originally called quadrille, which is a type of dance that requires 4 people. But in 1973, he announced that the cast would be his girlfriend, Cybill Shepherd, Madeline Kahn, Ryan O'Neal as the Italian Johnny Spanish, and then himself as Mop. Now, in 1974, he decided not to be in the movie, but just to direct it, and replaced himself with Elliot Gould. However, Elliot Gould and Ryan O'Neal both dropped, so they asked Burt Reynolds because Burt really wanted to try to be in a musical. I love this himbo jock that's just like into musicals. He gives Troy Bolton energy. It's really great. Yeah. You know, my head's in the game, but my heart's in the song. Yeah, so he gave the other male lead to Duilio Del Pret, who had just been in another one of Bogdanovich's movies, Daisy Miller, and he, like, loved his work. So finally, everything got, like, financed.
My head's in the game, but my heart's in the song. I'm sorry.
That is Burt Reynolds.
That.
That should be the name of his biography.
My head's in the game, but my heart's in the song.
Yes. So, then they filmed it. And this is where I sort of learned about, like, the whole black and white but in color. And he wanted the characters to feel like they were having a conversation using greeting cards in the form of songs. Like, they didn't quite know what to say to each other. Well, that worked, but it just made it confusing. It didn't come out like the way you wanted it to. But all of the actors, especially Burt Reynolds, were not accomplished singers or dancers, and because they were filming all of these live, it resulted in a lot of delays and mess-ups during the shooting process because they had to keep redoing takes and re-singing as opposed to having a set track that they have already sung that they are acting to. Also, because of the age, like, they were dealing with, like, weird, like, receiver systems in order to, like, listen to the instrumentals.
Like, they had sound
so it's like they had
as
sound
well.
issues. It didn't work out. Later on, Bogdanovich said he was very arrogant during the making of this film, but that arrogance was brought out of a frantic insecurity. I knew it was so possible I was wrong that I became tough and insistent that I was right. So that's sort of the process. I mean,
at least he had kind of the foresight for that.
Yeah, he's I think he
felt hindsight.
He felt the writing on the wall and was insistent that it wasn't there.
What writing? Where?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I never learned to read.
So the actor that I wanted to focus on is Madeline Kahn, because I actually did double check, and she is not in another musical. Which is chaos, because she was in musicals on Broadway, but this is the only film musical that she was on. Obviously, she sings a little bit. Yeah, obviously she sings a little bit in, like, Young Frankenstein, but that is not considered like a movie musical kind of deal. So Madeline Kahn, was an American actress, comedian, singer, known for her comedic roles with films by Peter Bogdanovich and especially Mel Brooks. When she was young, she studied in school for, like, speech therapy and, like, speech pathology and stuff like that. While she was a college student, she wasn't really into singing, but she worked as a singing waitress at Hofbrauhaus in Hudson Valley. And she sang
at a what?
At Hofbrauhaus. So while she was there was a really important customer, a big Italian man who would shout at her to sing Madame Butterfly, like, specifically, like, the very popular aria Un bel dì. So she quoted, "If I was to come back the next summer to earn more money during the next year, I knew I'd better know that aria. You know, I didn't know anything about it. I just learned that one aria and then a few others, and then one thing led to another, and I ended up studying that, and I discovered that I could sing in that way." Which is wild. So after school, she began.
How it normally works.
No. So after school, she began auditioning for professional acting roles, and on the side, she briefly taught public school, which I can't imagine. But she made her stage debut as a chorus girl in a revival of Kiss Me Kate, which led her to join Actors Equity. In 1968, she performed her first professional lead in a special concert performance of the operetta Candide in honor of Leonard Bernstein's 50th birthday. She made her Broadway debut in 1968 and also appeared off-Broadway in the musical Promenade. Her film debut was also in 1968. That was a good year for her. In a short called Deduva, or The Dove. Her feature film debut was in Peter Bogdanovich's screwball comedy, What's Up, Doc, in 1972, which starred Barbra Streisand. And she continued with him the next year in Paper Moon in 1973, which got her first and only Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. Now, originally, this is interesting, she was cast in the role of Agnes Gooch in Mame in the film with Lucille Ball. So,
What?
Yeah, I did not know this. This was not a part of the stuff that I found whenever we were working on Mame. She was originally hired, but Lucille Ball fired her due to artistic differences. Now, Lucille Ball's opinion was that Madeline Kahn was eager to be released so that she could join the cast of Blazing Saddles, but Madeline Kahn stated that she was fired. So,
whoa.
We'll see. But if you had to choose between being in Mame versus being in Blazing Saddles by Mel Brooks with Gene Wilder, yeah, I think she made the right call in regardless of which way the cookie actually crumbled there. So, anyway, after she was in Blazing Saddles, she was in a bunch of Mel Brooks films, History of the World Part 1, she was in Young Frankenstein, High Anxiety, and that was where her comedic talents really shined. Oh, I'm sorry, I was incorrect. She was also nominated for an Academy Award for Blazing Saddles. I was incorrect before.
How dare you.
Now, after her success, she was in a lot of other films in the 80s, notably the one that the reason why I know who she is Mrs. White in Clue, where she was also with, oh God, what's the actress's name? Eileen something, who played Mrs. Peacock, also in Clue, and also in this movie. Sadly, she continued to work throughout the 80s and 90s, but sadly had ovarian cancer and underwent treatment and married her longtime partner, John Hansberry, in the summer of 1999. However, she ended up passing in December of 1999 at age 57. So quite young, very, very sad, but quite a prolific comedian and performer.
Okay, I will move on to reviews, reception, release. We've alluded to it, if
good.
you will.
I cannot wait for you to pull some quotes.
Okay, so in terms of reviews, reception, release, the studio rushed this film. They rushed this film into release. It actually only had 2 previews, which was very unusual. Bogdanovich later said, that was a big mistake.
Yeah.
It went through, really last-minute changes, but its premiere was in 1975, March 1st. March 1st, 1975 in Los Angeles, then March 6th at Radio City, to scathing reviews and poor box office returns. I think this had, a $4.5 million budget and only made, 1.5. Critics trashed it. I pulled a New York Times quote. Frank Rich of the New York Times said, "The film was the most perverse movie musical ever made. A colossal, over-extravagant in-joke. Every time the stars opened their mouths or shook their legs, they trample on Cole Porter's grave." Scathing.
Oh boy.
Scathing. But, there was something, I talked to Grace about this earlier before we recorded, but, so obviously, and I didn't talk about it, I'm not going to get into it, but Bogdanovich did, give a public apology for this film. And so, obviously, he knew it was not well received.
Yeah.
Until, and with many of these, box office bombs, many of them become cult classics, Rocky Horror. This film does have a small cult classic, a small cult following. And apparently, so as I said, Bogdanovich was alive in 2011.
Yeah.
He had just written this film off as painful memory, folly of youth, when he was told in 2011 that this film started streaming on Netflix and that people were liking it. So for the first time in years, he watched it and he liked what he saw because it was not his final cut.
Oh.
It was discovered that a studio editor named Jim Blakely had secretly made another edit that more closely resembled Bogdanovich's original shooting script and the first preview cut. And then he just swapped it as the default version, and this was the version that was put on Netflix. Bogdanovich has come forward afterwards saying like how he's so grateful for Blakely, who sadly passed away before anyone knew what he had done. He took that secret to his grave.
Jim can keep a secret.
And then afterwards, Bogdanovich like let Fox know, being like, hey, this is what I like this version way better. And he made like some really, really small refinements that added about 90 seconds to the film overall.
Yeah.
But the studio re-released this cut in 2013 as the definitive director's version.
Is that what we watched?
I have no idea, Grace.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay.
That was 123 minutes. What was this?
This was about 123.
All right, we might have watched that.
Damn. I will say,
Which
notably,
means there's a worse version out there.
There's a worse version out there. Notably, one of the people who love this movie is director Rian Johnson.
I mean, here's the thing. I didn't talk about this when going over Bogdanovich, but he is credited and quoted by many contemporary directors as inspiration. Like Martin Scorsese,
Yeah.
loved this
Quite a
film.
notable person.
Martin Scorsese in particular watched this film like 8 times and credited it as inspiration for a later film he would make.
Crazy.
Anyway, do you want to briefly touch on singing and dancing?
What dancing?
What? There was some tapping attempts, and
I would
as
call
we
it
said,
like a shuffle
it was
step.
all sung live, which commendable, perhaps not the right choice.
No. I mean, obviously, there's very few times in which, in a movie, I think they should sing live on set. I mean, they did that shit in Les Mis.
And it was a gamble, and
notably.
It paid off for some.
And it paid off, but that was also because they had hired professional singers or people who had training in singing. Russell Crowe.
Oh, sorry.
Two
Russell
different
Crowe.
people. They had hired majority of people who were quite good singers,
Yeah.
But they didn't do that in this movie. I mean, Madeline Kahn
and it shows.
is a good singer normally. She did not shine in this.
I think it is fair to say that I don't think anybody shined in this.
Yeah. Wasn't super duper great. Gripes, giggles,
Bummer.
moments of joy.
I mean, I just found the film very arrogant, gripes-wise. Giggles.
Are you singing to me? No, I'm singing to myself.
Yeah.
the elevator
my giggles
going
were just,
down.
Yeah. My giggles were consistently on behalf of all the waiters in this film.
Oh my god. My ice in my glass just popped in agreement.
Agreed. And then in terms of moment of joy, I would say Mabel's entrance is my moment of joy, when she just comes out of the car,
catches a football and makes a touchdown. Delightful. Yeah, my brain is the plot of this is people dealing with the consequences of their own actions, which is not my favorite form of plot. My giggles, I said it at the very, very beginning, just the fact that at the bottom of the Wikipedia article it says, see also list of films considered the worst.
The worst. Define the worst. No, just
the worst.
The worst.
It just tickles me every time. And then the other moments that I mentioned, the elevator, muffled singing, the are you singing to me? No, I'm singing to myself. There were a couple really good funny one-liners. Yeah. And then my moment of joy is Brooke and Michael in the pool, where it looked like they were actually having a great time. It looked like Cybill Shepherd might have chipped Burt Reynolds' tooth. It was very funny.
Tooth!
That was a moment of
I love shit
of just
like that.
It looked like, and them just laughing through the song, which makes you have such a joyous time. Yeah, so that was about it. I mean, it's not a good movie, y'all.
No, and I don't have any homework I have does not involve actually watching parts of this film. No. Do you have any homework?
No, absolutely. Do you have fun facts before we?
I don't. Honestly, I looked through them all and I didn't find anything that I thought was funny.
No, I mean, the only thing is, a little bit for music, Poor Young Millionaire is probably one of the only songs in the show where the lyrics were written by Cole Porter, but he hadn't done the accompaniment to it, so they hired a musical director to compose music in a Cole Porter style.
I do have a fun fact, which is that as much as we didn't like this film, you can't deny it's a musical. This had 16 songs in it. There were
There's a lot of songs.
That's not a problem we frequently have. I would say there were almost too many.
Again, I don't think this plot should have been a musical. I fully agree with you on that.
But it just like hammered over the head with musical theater.
And then the other fun fact is, according to Film Threat, this film has been out of official circulation for so many years that most people only know it by reputation.
But, I mean, here's the thing, like, it was on Netflix for a while.
Yes, it was.
It's not anymore. We watched this
for free,
YouTube,
full on
and there's
YouTube.
a full YouTube. So, you know what? For film historians' sake, I'm glad it is still available. Yeah. There have been several films that Grace and I have been interested in doing, and just like 40,000 Frenchmen or whatever it is. And
40 million what is it? Frenchmen.
50 million Frenchmen. Really, really want to see it.
Is only available like on VHS.
Cannot find it.
Yeah. I think that's all she wrote. And I think that's all she needed to write.
Okay, well, if you are still with us, thank you for tuning in to the podcast. We've had some new listeners join us lately, and we are so, so grateful as we come to the end of this year to see this podcast continue to grow. This is truly a labor of dumb love. And
with dumb opinions.
You all. We've only got a couple episodes left of this year, which is crazy to think about. And thank you for tuning in. This has been 5678, a movie musical podcast. I have been Anna.
I'm still Grace.
Take care of yourselves and others. Goodbye.
Bye.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know.